Hey everyone, M1 Shadow here. In today's talk show series, I'm actually covering gun control and a couple myths that surround it. Also going to present some facts here to kind of give people a better perspective on firearms and let you know that despite what the media puts out there, firearms are not at all that bad. One of the first things that comes to mind is in 2011, there were 445 gun-related deaths in New York State, the entire state itself. Of those, 314 of those happened in New York City, where it already is against the law to carry a firearm. So 70% of those gun-related incidents were in New York City. And of those, most of them were a pistol that was obtained illegally. So when people try to say that a quote-unquote assault rifle is so bad and they need to be banned, well, that's kind of funny, because if that's the case, then how come criminals more or less use a pistol in those type of crimes? Next, from 1994 to 2004, there was an assault weapons ban, which limited all firearms to a 10-round capacity on the magazines. What effect did that have on crime? Absolutely none. So what about the power of these so-called assault rifles? A lot of people are under the misconception that they could do a lot more damage than your average hunting rifle. As a matter of fact, the opposite is true. You take any 30 caliber hunting round, like a 308, 30-06, 300 Winchester Magnum, they actually have 2 to 3 times the power of the little 55 grain 223 round that comes out of an AR-15. So that's another myth that I want to clear up. Another thing gun control advocates like to say, and I feel that this argument works against them, is that because when the Second Amendment was written, there was no such thing as an AR-15. Okay, that argument actually works against them, and I'll tell you why. The Second Amendment was written so that the people could defend themselves from tyranny. At the time, muskets were the only rifle firearm that was available, and both law enforcement and people had the same exact firepower. So what makes anybody think that it would be any different if there were AR-15s, M16s, AK-47s? It's not. The same thing would apply, is that the people and the law enforcement would all be eligible to have the same exact firepower. And lastly, let's get realistic. Do criminals ever really obey laws? I mean, come on, drugs are illegal. Does that stop them from, drug addicts from taking drugs? Realistically, if they put a ban on all firearms in the world, in the country, and said everybody turns in your firearms, do you really think that criminals are going to go and turn in their firearms? Absolutely not. Crime would go up, and if you don't believe me, check any other country that put restrictions on firearms. Crime jumped up dramatically. I could sit here and go on and on all day, but these are just some basic points I wanted to bring up. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you have any other suggestions for other videos you'd like to see, make sure you hit me up in the comments section. Let me know what you like with this video. Also be sure to share it. I want to thank you all for watching, and you have a good one.